Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm going to give you a warning right now. We're going to talk about something that is potentially going to be uncomfortable for you. I'm telling you now, it could be uncomfortable. And not that the Autumn experience is uncomfortable, because she's fantastic. And yes, she's back again. It is Autumn. She's a spiritual and life coach. But by uncomfortable, I mean, when we go through change, that can be uncomfortable, but it's for a good reason. And Autumn, why can it be so uncomfortable when we go through changes?
Yeah. When you're trying to focus on yourself and you're not able to take along people that you wanted to go, or places or things.
Absolutely. Why does it have to be uncomfortable?
Because it's stepping out of your comfort zone. It's unfamiliar. So when it's unfamiliar, the thing is that you're moving in a direction that you're not familiar with, that makes you most comfortable. But that's the biggest challenge of you reaching your goals, is being able to step out of your comfort zone, focusing on the fears and the things that keep you most stagnant.
Somebody said to me once that if you're not uncomfortable, if you're not, let's say, feeling that sadness, that emotion, whatever it might be, you're not really living. It's all great, right?
You're absolutely right. The thing is that a lot of people look at obstacles as a situation where it's challenging and there's something wrong with them, or they did something wrong. But in all reality, it's the lessons to make you actually stronger for what is in store for you. Everybody on this earth has a purpose, has a plan. And the thing is that sometimes we don't even know what it is until we step out of our comfort zone.
And even if you step out of your comfort zone, you might not know the plan for a while. I mean, it could take time for it to reveal.
No, and that's the reason why things have to change. The things that are not in alignment with your focus and what you desire to do, it will actually distract you, where you're not able to hear and this is where I have to go into my spirituality, is not allowing you to hear the guidance where you're being guided to, or because you're distracted by things that's so familiar, then you're not able to actually pursue things because you're uncomfortable, because the things around you are not comfortable with it as well.
Interesting point. It's funny. I literally just talked to somebody who's a nurse, and her boyfriend, fiance, just had test results come back, and she was worried about it for a while, and what it was going to be, whether it was going to be cancer, and it turned out that it was something, but it wasn't anything super serious. And prior to that, I told her, just have some faith, just hang in there. And what we just talked about, not even 20 minutes ago, was that things can happen, but they're not happening to you. You got to remember, it's happening for you.
Yes, Steve. Yes, I totally agree with that. Yes. The thing is that a lot of people don't understand that because we are not completely in control of our destiny. You're being guided. You don't really know what your purpose is. So you're being maneuvered unconsciously through the faith of believing in yourself, in your growth, stepping outside the comfort zone. So with that being said, is that you have to trust yourself. And if you're distracted by any external feelings outside of you, then you won't actually be able to see the directions that you need to go. That's the biggest thing. I'm glad you mentioned that. And, I'm sorry that your friend is experiencing that. But there was a story about a man that was diagnosed with cancer. Doctor told him that, hey, it's time for you to make plans, because it's nothing that we can do for you. Well, he was determined and he believed in himself. Usually everybody just get prepared because they trust one resource. But this gentleman actually went to the islands. He did this whole detox of his body where he actually did a water fast for 90 days. He came back and he has cancer no more. So it takes a lot for a person to believe in themselves and understand that they have a purpose. Sometimes we are a vessel to actually guide us, to set an example for another person. They may not want to listen to what we're saying. They may not want to learn what we're learning. But the thing is that they can actually take in the lesson by you leading by example.
Yep. And that gets us to the the classic cliche that people are here for a reason, sometimes a season.
Yes. Yes.
They filter in, they filter out, and if they don't serve you anymore, then it's time to move on from them. But whatever the reason is, maybe you're to learn from them, they to learn from you. We don't know.
No, we don't know. And the thing is that a lot of us, we got this comfort zone of people and surroundings that we're in. And once we get that feeling of knowing that we're focused on something else, you find that you look to that familiar surrounding to give you guidance, to give you support. And when it's not there, or you're being misguided and it leave you conflicted, then you have to understand it's time for you to step away from it and trust yourself. When you do this and you start to see that you being guided in the right direction, it feels good. You understand, you trust in yourself and you being guided in the direction you want to go. Then what it does, sometimes it makes the environment uncomfortable for you, the external parties uncomfortable with your process. And with a lot of people, my clients in general, they have this sense of being accepted, being supported by what's familiar. But the thing is that your journey is not familiar to you. So you can't expect for everybody to go on that journey with you. Everybody has their different process. And if you don't believe in yourself and you don't make you a priority, then you trying to carry on this burden and this weight will keep you stagnant where you're not able to reach your destiny.
Yep. It's so true. It's so true, Autumn. And it might not be the worst situation that you're in, but is it the best situation that you can be in? And sometimes you need to step away to realize that. I'm full of cliches today. I don't know.
No, but that's a beautiful thing. I mean, the thing is that cliches and experiences, it gives people a different way of looking at it. And that's the best way to do it. The thing is that everything you're saying, I can relate. Everybody that's listening, they've encountered a story where they can relate. And it's just the fact of understanding that once you take this journey and you focus on yourself and you moving in a different direction, you start to see things, you start to grow, you start to elevate, you start to see things that you couldn't see before. You start to see red flags. Red flags is warning. Why is this person interacting with me in this way? Why is it that I'm actually experiencing this and I'm not getting the same support that I'm giving out? You start to look at it, not in a selfish way, but because you start to love yourself more, you start to focus on you, then you start to look at this balancing scale.
It's so true. I'm thrilled that we're talking about this because now I totally relate to it. I never did that for myself. I never focused on myself. It was always family, everybody else, never myself, taking care of it now. And on my journey, somebody said to me, it's about a year ago, and it's still in my head. I still have the text. And he said to me, and he knew, what I was going through. He said, you know what? Habit doesn't equal happiness.
Can I have your friend? I love that. I love that.
He's pretty plugged in. He's got it. And there was some things that I'm dealing with, and he said, you knew they were going to happen. You knew it was going to be that way. And I'm like, no, I really didn't. I didn't know. He's like, no, you did. And I guess he's right. Like if you go deep down into your soul and think about your goals and everything in general, or like you just said, you step away and look at it from a different camera angle, so to speak, then you realize that, yeah, you know what? That wasn't cool the way things were. It's going to be better on the other side, but you don't know when that's going to be, but I always say this, it will all be revealed. Whatever it is, it will all be revealed. And people have told me that out of nowhere. Yeah. Somebody walked up to me out of nowhere and said that exact same thing after I had thought it, shared it with other people. And it's like, yeah, eventually things get revealed. But how about some tips on making it less uncomfortable when you go through those changes?
Well, the thing is that the first thing you got to ask yourself is, why are you allowing yourself to be in an uncomfortable situation, whatever it may be? That question is why. Is to really reflect and ask yourself that question is why. And the first thing you would actually recognize is that you're holding on to something because of the potential of it. The potential of it. You think because you are this whole person, because you love the way that you do, because you care and you nurture for the things that you do, that eventually this person will catch up to you because maybe they've experienced some certain things. Maybe, they don't know what it means to feel the way that I feel. It's just me. I'm just a softie. But, eventually they'll catch up. The thing is that you have to reflect and be able to understand you can't move forward with the potential of something. That everything needs to be on your level in alignment. And it's okay if it's not, because again, everybody has their own process. It's to step back and allow them to elevate and learn their lesson, because you're not doing them a justice or any service if you're stepping in and you always catering and you're not allowing them to grow and develop to their own journey. Because again, all of us have our own journey. We all have a purpose, each and every last one of us. We all have the secret to the universe, but it's up to us to desire it, to listen, to do the lessons. And if you are in the process of doing that and you're accepting and you're learning it, then you need to step back and let other people learn their process as well.
Yep, absolutely. It could even be your kids. Like you could be enabling them, allowing them, making life easier, to the point where they feel entitled, where, we all do it as parents nowadays because
that's another show.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's another show. Yeah. No, but I totally agree with you. Entitlement is not just with the kids, it's with people too.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just the process of understanding that sometimes you just have to step back. If you care for this person, place, a thing, and you're experiencing this beautiful evolution in your life, then if you desire for them to be just as happy, then they need to actually endure the lessons that you endured that brought you to this level. So it's sometimes really the tip of the day is really to step back and ask yourself why. Why is it that you are accepting whatever it is that you're receiving? Is it fair to you? And do you feel that you deserve more? If those questions actually come back and answer to you that, yes, you deserve that. No, this is not a fair situation. And the reason why you're doing it is because of potential. Then it's time for you to reevaluate and make some changes.
So I always say, Autumn, that I go with my gut, like my gut. And every time I haven't been way wrong. So now I just kind of let it guide me. And sometimes, more times than not, I get something. It's like, all right, got that. Sometimes, a couple of things in my life right now, got a question mark, need some answers. What guides you? Now you're a spiritual and life coach. What's propelling you? What's inside you? How does your process in your mind work?
My process in my mind works as though I talk to my inner child. My inner child is called Angel. That was my nickname that I grew up with. And I know this child inside of me, she's experienced so many things. And that's the basis of the fear, the insecurities, not being confident in certain things that I want to pursue.
Hell yeah, I got you.
So with that being said, what I do is I talk to her and I let her know, like yesterday, I was a little, everything going on, I'm a little nervous. And it's like, okay, Angel, it's time for you to step out of it. We done came too far. We've grown so much. I need you not to overthink this. I actually talk to her and I can't do this by myself. We need to do this together. I understand how you feel. You got every right to feel that way, but this is for us to do this together. One cannot do it without the other. I believe in me. I believe in you. And because I take that moment to reflect, to engage with me and love me and encourage me, then it's a beautiful feeling. And the intuitions that I get from being guided from the universe, from God, whoever you decide that you want to worship, I can feel it even stronger more. The more and more I love myself, the more and more I get the intuitions of what I should do or what I shouldn't do, or when I need to just be really still and I know it's working for me because I have faith in me and in the universe.
Yep. I agree with you. And I don't want to
Awesome.
just agree with you to agree with you, but I really do. And I forget to do this, but I think it can be so powerful because we're all so busy moving around, lots of stuff going on. Look in the mirror and talk to yourself, praise yourself, address yourself, even by name. I've always heard is so beneficial. And it sounds to close the bathroom door. It's okay. Nobody's going to know you're doing it, or there's nobody in the house, apartment, whatever. We never do it. Like we don't talk to ourselves. Maybe in our mind we do, but we physically don't. But I've always heard it makes a big difference if you try that.
Well, you'll get to a point where you don't care if people is around. I have some individuals that I work with, and sometimes when I'm having a bad day, it's like, excuse me for a second, I need to talk to Autumn and to Angel because we having a rough day, and they'll laugh at it. They think it's a joke, but I let them be entertained by it, but it's actually allowing me to evolve into the person that I am. So you're absolutely right. I think everyone, the same efforts that you would give someone else that's keeping you stagnant, that's giving you their burdens, that making you their responsibility. Why can't you do that for yourself?
It's so true. How many times do we spend time talking to other people, giving advice? Here's what I think you should. What about yourself? You got to talk to yourself.
Hello, Steve. Yes. Why can't you do it for yourself?
Right.
And why is it that you would go over and beyond for someone else? And sometimes they don't even appreciate it. Here's the thing. Again, they have that process. You understand that. You understand that they're going through something. You want to be there for them. But hey, what about your inner child? That baby been screaming at you the whole time and you've been ignoring them, So it's time for you to take that moment to reflect. That's one of the things that will actually help you heal. It will actually help you overcome insecurities. It will help you be more confident in the decisions that you make because you believe yourself so much, because you're moving with good intentions. That's automatically going to bring you is equal exchangeable energy. So if you putting out good, guess what? Come back to you. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe in that too. It's the power of positivity. And some people, I don't want to hear about that. No, it does make a difference. If what you're putting out there is going to come back. And
absolutely.
Karma too. I always say, do the right thing. No matter what it is, just do the right thing. Because why would you want to do it any other way? Why would you want to take a chance of something negative coming your way? I don't want that. Push that away.
No. And once you're open to your inner self and you love yourself and you're open to change, and being able, as hard as it may be, to let go of these people, this energy, this environment, whatever makes you comfortable, if it's not equally serving you, then just know you're doing this for you and you're not shutting the door on them completely. My thing is you giving them time to complete their process. If they desire to be in your core and they know that you stand in your truth, then they'll make the changes and they'll come in. But if they don't, your energy, the things that's guiding you, it'll keep the door shut. It'll keep the door shut. And sometimes people, once they see you elevate, they get a little intimidated. For the ones who choose not to take this free will to develop themselves as you do. But that's not your journey.
as a spiritual and life coach, and you help people and you've been through a lot to get to this point, as many of us have, what was the biggest challenge for you, Autumn? When you think about it, like looking back, and I'm not saying we view this as a negative because it's all part of our path and our growth. What would you say was the biggest challenge for you?
The very thing that we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Actually removing myself from situations that I was so comfortable with, so familiar with. And this is people, places, and things.
Yep.
These are people that some of them are family, and it was really uncomfortable and it's still kind of uncomfortable, but I know I'm doing this to break a generational curse. The generational curses is where you continue to involve yourself in situations that no longer serve you and is really not elevating the energies outside of you. Somebody has to do it. If everybody had that mentality that they wanted to evolve into a bigger version of themselves, Steve, could you imagine how this world would actually change?
Be phenomenal.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the thing is that it's not that I'm saying that I am that person, but honestly, in my kingdom, in the throne that I sit on, I am that person. So whether I meet, actually reach one person, two people, 10, whatever, I've served my purpose. So, that's my focus. It's just being able to kind of break away from it. You do your grieving for it, but understand that it's best for you to lead by example, and you're teaching them by leading by example. And if they choose to come along, they know what they need to do to come across the drawbridge. If they choose not to, then maybe in the next lifetime. But my heart is there and the love never changed. It's just who I am right now, standing in front of you. I'm a different person. And anything that comes my way has to be an equal exchange. And it's nothing else around it.
Yep. And there has to be honesty, loyalty, all of that mixed in with that to yourself and the other person offering that too.
Exactly. I totally agree. It comes with that honesty, that whole equal exchange. When you have good intentions, that's all a part of good intentions, is to be able to be transparent, to stand in your truth. If a person is not able, and here's the thing, you still have compassion for the other person. I'm spiritual, so I understand that everybody has a process. Everybody got lessons. Everybody has been through their trials and tribulations. But what I have to remind myself, what you've endured is not mine.
And your challenges and your problem aren't yours.
Come on, Steve. I need a partner. I need you to come.
Grab my hand. And you know what? When you say you break the generational curse, and I think, we have a few minutes left. And this could be a whole other show that we could talk about. But you said it before, things that you, as a child, you went through, and maybe you weren't taught how to deal with certain things. Now you get to the point, let's say you're a parent, you're just passing on, I don't want to say the bad stuff, but you're not giving the skills to your kid. You're just, here we go, another generation. You just keep repeating the same thing over and over again. It sounds
the same thing over and over again, just how you interact with friends and how you are with a work environment. All you're doing is actually just passing on what you've learned from what you've seen, what you've been raised to believe. And it's not always the case.
Yeah.
This universe gives you so many secrets to success, secrets to happiness, secrets to love.
Yep.
And a lot of us are stagnant and blocked and actually have received the secret, but so stuck in what we're trending in, what we're used to, you don't see it and you don't hear it. And that's where I want to come in at, because anybody that's open and desire to learn it, desire to hear it, whatever I've learned, I want to share with you.
I love that. And we're so stuck in our ways that sometimes it takes somebody like you to, I call it take a rock and pound it into the pond, and all of a sudden the ripples go out.
Yes.
And that's where it kind of all begins, other than just being floating in the pond. All right, great. So what? But it'd be nice to have a ripple carry you to one side, where whatever it might be, where you can move in a different direction. Because a lot of us are just kind of just hanging out there.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind, everybody is not going to be open to it. And you have to be okay with that. Yeah. A lot of people turned away from me like, oh, she's spiritual. Oh, she's a life coach. What happened to your old career? And it's just like, we're not going to worry about that. You need to recognize the fact that I'm happy. Look at the type of person I'm bringing to you. Are you willing to accept that or not? It's free will, but I'm not judging you. It's okay.
Yeah, there can never be any judging, because you're doing your own thing. I'm not judging you. You're not judging me. And it's like, whatever. Biggest question is three words. Are you happy? That's it.
That's it.
Sometimes it takes being uncomfortable to be happy. But that's why the Autumn Experience helps us through it. Tell everybody to go to your website, which is
www.autumnexperience.com.
And do you have a free discovery
Yes. Well,
like that?
the thing is that once you come to the website, I give you a 30-minute free consultation so we can get to know each other and we can get comfortable to see if this is the journey you want to take. And once we come to that decision or agreement, what have you, that you're comfortable enough to open up to me and we can work together on this journey, then that's when we go into the sessions. I'm not that type of spiritual motivational coach where if I notice that there's some other things that's going on, of course, we be open to actually give you the guidance to actually venture a little bit deeper into it. But I'm only open to the ones that actually know, that they want to learn, that they want to listen, and we can exchange the energy and get on our way. It's a whole world to explore.
Yeah. And I love that. I love your permission with a clean slate. That's what it feels like. It's like, all right, I'm here.
Yes.
The slate clean and start fresh with some new stuff. And we need some new experiences. I think it would be,
we do.
Yeah, including the autumn experience, but change is good. Always heard that. And again, like we said in the beginning, not always comfortable. That's the challenge.
No.
Yeah. But that's why you should go through it with somebody else that's been through it.
Mm-hmm.
Be like you.
Always.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Steve. I'm so happy I was able to talk to you today.
Yeah, same here. Same here. What a great way to start the week. Go to autumnexperience.com. Autumn is your spiritual and life coach, and get the free session. Talk for a half hour. What do you get to lose except some good stuff in your life that, you're not getting any older.
No, you're not. And I have a book that's coming out soon too. So we'll talk about that soon.
Awesome. It was great talking with you, Autumn, and look forward to catching up again next time.
It's my pleasure. I look forward to speaking with you too, as well, Steve.
And it's okay to be uncomfortable, everybody. I'm just saying that. It's all right. It
is.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.